Yeah.
Da, se aude, man. Te-am auzit acum cum ai răgușit. So I don't know what you have muted there. People can hear us. Hello, everybody.
But it's muted on my side. How?
I just opened the stream on YouTube. I could hear you.
Come here. This is it.
That's very interesting.
Does it pick it up from your side?
I don't think so. Well, let's test it out. Testing. Can you hear us? Yes, we can hear you.
I don't know. This is some magical shit.
Kai
So
can hear
the
us.
microphones should be muted.
Fuck it.
All right. I guess we can stop the music then. The surprise is dead. It's over. All right, it's over. Are we ready?
We're so ready. Just posting it on Discord.
All right. Let's see this. We are live. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
How come? So okay. Now it shows the levels. I'm unmuting and now it's on green. So now it should be. Yeah, I know it's the same, but it's very weird because this is the podcaster microphone here, and everything should have been muted.
Our microphones are not picked by the output, right? By the
No. What this nothing like that is logical. But hello, everybody. Welcome to WoW Wrap Up. This is the second week of the show, and hopefully let's test this shit really fast. Bam, 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 bam. This is chaos to see if we get any freezes on the camera, because. We have to say we are a little bit sorry and felt a little bit bad, for the first edition of WoW Wrap Up because we got a lot of freezes on the camera.
With some technical difficulties.
Yeah, but hey, we identified the issues, and now I think we are. I'm looking at this. Nothing freezes on my side, but I think the main important thing is on there because now everything is happening on your laptop, right?
Yes. Also very important. Do you guys notice any audio issues?
Oh yeah. I mean, if it's a short desync, that's fine. If it's like really annoying, it's like you're looking at us and it sounds like we're like some sort of old Chinese karate flick, then you have to let us know, right? Because last time we fiddled this to you, I don't know how many of you joined, I don't know, was it on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday? Some of those days, Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday, when we tested everything out. No, Tuesday. Wednesday. I don't remember. When was the day we tested it?
They filmed the show. Season 1 is over.
Yeah, what Flame said. So if you can, guys, write in the chat if you can notice like a very annoying delay on, desync on what you're seeing and what you're hearing. We would appreciate it.
All right, I think everything looks peachy here. We got the chats, we got all of the things.
Beautiful. Do you have the link from the Wowhead with the tier sets?
I
can send them on Discord.
Yes, please.
We have two links. We have the tier sets. I'm sending it.
Bună ziua! Hello, YouTube chat.
Oh, we have Romanians?
Oh, we have Romanians.
Yeah. Te salut, frate! All right. Where the fuck are you? There he is. Right. One link. So this is going to be this one. We're going to start it off with this.
One link to rule them all.
And then we're going to look at what they declared.
Oh, the blue post philosophies. Okay.
Yeah. But we're starting off with the tier sets.
You can probably guess what their philosophy is because it's very similar to Dragonflight.
Yeah, but we're not getting into it right now, are we?
Oh, no. all comes in order.
All right. So the delays. Did anybody write in chat? Is there like super delays?
Nope. Everything seems fine with everybody in chat. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody in chat. Welcome. So, WoW Wrap Up. If there are folks among you who do not know what this is, well, this is our show. It's a live stream. It's
Yes.
a podcast. It's a happy mix between making a live show and also making videos out of it and clips and different YouTube channels. It's amazing. I tell you, you got to stick around, watch until the end because we like bant about and rant about and talk about shit. Say something.
Finally, we can actually talk about the news of WoW and not have our videos get outdated by the time they're out.
Well, you know, we did a couple of videos for this week and yeah, they're kind of outdated at this point.
Wait, not the survival one, is it?
Well, survival. I had to put it out today because you know that's for the clips. So this whole show is live streamed on both Twitch and YouTube. Obviously, the full VOD is going to be on the Marcelian Online YouTube, not on Twitch. And if you don't have the patience to watch all of the bumbling, we have a second channel. It's called Marcelian&Flame. It's youtube.com/@Marcelian&Flame. And over there, we're going to have like short clips from the streams with the different subject matters, like all cut out like in 5-minute videos, 3-minute videos. In time, that channel is going to have a plenitude of short videos. Well, short-ish because some of them will be a lot longer. But so far, we're trying to like focus it down on really small condensed information.
Yeah, it's not necessary to be long as it hits the sides. But apparently my mic is a little bit quiet.
Let's see.
I am talking right now and I am saying something. Hello. It could probably be a little bit.
You have to put your mouth closer.
There you go.
So over here it's maxed.
Okay. This is not very stable. Now it should be way better. I shouldn't be too close to it, so we're trying to, make sure that it doesn't go.
Yeah. All right, just kiss it. Kiss it one time. Kiss it for the ladies. All right, enough. Is it good now? Okay, let's test it out. Is it good?
Yeah. How's the audio, guys? Are you guys hearing us kind of at the same level?
You hearing you. Say some. Keep talking.
All right. Looks like we're good. Let's boogie.
All right. So, I think on the morning stream, Flame had a lot to do for the range DPS,
Yes.
and I guess there was a lot of question regarding tier sets, as I understand.
Yes. People came in to talk about tier sets. I mean, we were actually testing them live. It just were a couple of specs only for range DPS. So
Move a little bit. Yeah,
like this.
that's it. Yeah. So you have like closer mouth range to the microphone.
Mouth range is important.
There you go. We getting it. All right. So the subject of today is probably going to be all night talking about the tier sets because we have like 13 specs, I believe, and we have tier sets for all of them, all the tier set bonuses. We're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss, debate, speculate, and I think there's a lot to get into.
There's quite a few tier sets.
We should do this also on the appearances. I think that would make for a juicy video. The actual looks of the tier set, because boy, do we have some vomited beans over there. Let me tell you. But that's a topic for another video. All right, so let's get into it. Now we have the WoW head over here, and I think we can use this one with both of us here. All right. So we started off as usual with the Death Knight tier set bonuses. This is right.
Alphabetical order.
Yeah. For Nerubra. Did they say something about the raid? They didn't, right?
As in what?
As in let's play today.
Testing? Probably not. No,
okay.
Not that we have heard.
Okay, fuck it. So, Blood Death Knight. Let's check out the 2-piece. While you have one or more bone shield charges, the damage you take is reduced by 2%. Losing a bone shield charge has a chance to reduce the damage you take by an additional 1% up to 3% for 6 seconds. I think
this is fairly standard.
Bland. Yeah,
it's a little bit boring.
It's bland. Yeah, of course. It's just give me damage reduction and I'll get out your way. It's pretty nothing too complicated. Nothing gameplay altering. But then again, 2 set bonuses never really were the ones who impacted gameplay too much. 4 set would have been, but let's see how it goes for the 4 set. So the 4-piece, your damage is increased by 1% per active bone shield charge. Taking damage while below 6 bone shield charges has a chance to generate 1-2 bone shield charges. Okay, so they want to incentivize you to not ever drop that bone shield, which is fine. That's a healthy way of getting people to understand Blood Dead Knights. I think this is a safety net type of bonus here because
the way the 4 set
the 4 seat is this with 4 seats? Is it a table tier set? Oh my god! Oh, sorry.
It definitely works with the new talent that gets all the stacks all the way up to 12. The fourth piece is kind of like a problem-ish because you never want to drop too much, but then you have the Bone Storm that eats up 10 of those charges, and then you kind of want to maximize the amount of charges you have for Bone Shield, so it might become a gameplay problem where you might want to overly generate Bone Shield to never drop below 10 so that you constantly have that damage up.
Yeah,
upgrade.
it just feels that it's kind of like easy mode, nothing impactful whatsoever. I mean, when you think about the rework of Blood Decay and the hero talents, do you see anything like very linked between this tier set and...
I only see the connection between the new talent that gives you up to 12 Bone Shield tops. It goes against the Bone Storm changes where it eats Bone Shields, because although when you lose, you gain an influx of power. So who knows? We'll have to test it out.
Okay, well, let's rank it in some capacity. Are we okay with this? I mean, for me, as I would say a mediocre Blood Death Knight, I love tanking with Blood. I think this is okay. I'm not really looking for something that game-changing because I am a beginner Death Knight.
That's fair, because we're gonna have new hero talents on top of all of this.
Yeah, this is something that we can talk about later in the video. So I would give it a pass. This is okay.
It's all right. It's a good start.
Yeah, nothing too extraordinary or anything like that. So they're going with the save zone. All right, let's check out the Frost 2 set and 4 set. So. The 2 set, your runic power spending abilities deal 8% increased damage. Okay.
Tell me you want me to play Breath of Sindragosa without you telling me you want me to play Breath of Sindragosa. That's basically what this 2 piece is.
Man, they're really... Okay, so 4 set, consuming runic power has a chance to increase your strength by 10% for 8 seconds.
This is so Breath. So they've done really a lot of work.
See, I don't like this.
Yeah,
this is a problem. So this you have like the 2 main options for obliterate and breath, and you're basically creating a system, an ultimate system for your spec where you cannot take obliteration. Why would you take obliteration with this tier set?
Not with the current version of Frost, I don't think, because they've also done a lot of work into making Frost Strike kind of feel impactful with the new capstones, which that would be a great change to the playstyle, but I would imagine if you ever ended up in that kind of a playstyle, you would still have Obliteration. It was just that Frost Strike would probably matter a little bit more, maybe a little bit more than the Rhyme procs during your Obliteration window, which would make this tier set, let's say, a little bit more versatile, but I feel like the uptime on Runic Consumption with Breath cannot be overstated, and I don't think it matches even just using Frost Strike.
They just put themselves into this corner with Breath of Sindragosa. I mean, after this many years, I don't know, man. It's a cool concept. I get it, but they keep on struggling. Yeah. They either have to like really push it to play it to be viable, because it's just tedious.
I mean, listen, if you love Breath of Sindragosa, this tier set is killer. Depending on the proc chance of your 4 sec, because 10% strength is giga good. That's a lot of... So that's the best source of damage proc that you're probably going to have in Season 1 for any spec. It's a lot of strength. But also, the tuning can...
That's what I'm saying. So this tier set, for people who love Breath, that's absolutely fine. But there's a whole tree of talents there. That does
not really work with Breath, I don't think.
So
you're not going to use Frost Strike during Breath. So then if you ever take the Frost Strike capstones, then that's it. Unless they're still not done with the Frost DK rework, because I was kind of hoping that they would address Breath a little bit more before they finish the rework. So
yeah, it could be. There could be something there.
So far,
Okay. We have to rank it a little bit. I will not give this a pass because it just forces you to play Breath, and it's stupid because there's a lot of obliteration stuff over there and a lot of nodes that would just basically make them unworthy to take because you cannot. So listen, you're a Breath of Sindragosa fan. This is a blast. This is a pass 100%. If you're not a Breath of Sindragosa fan, which you
play Unholy, that's what
yeah, what are you gonna do, man? This is crazy, right? So for me, because it's so restrictive, I'm not gonna give it a pass.
Yeah, I agree. Although I love Breath, and if I would main DK and main Frost, I would have no problem playing with this and playing Breath. I just know that content design for Breath is a little bit sketchy, where you have to jump a lot of hoops to actually make Breath work, and that's not fun for everybody. So I get it.
No, it's no bueno.
No se puedo.
All right, let's move on to the Unholy Death Knight set. Okay, this is particularly interesting. For me, because I'm planning on maining Unholy that night even further.
Spoiler alert, we're definitely not going to have a video talking about this.
We didn't take a decision, all right? It's going to be a nice filter.
I haven't played Unholy in a while, and I do want to ask you before you actually tell your opinion about this, and you can answer by actually reading it. What do you think of it? Because this sounds, as a Unholy player that hasn't played Unholy in a couple of patches, this sounds like a big banger.
I don't know. Okay, I haven't read any of this. The first time reading. Okay.
Oh, so, really? Yeah, okay. Let's say first time reactions. Let's go.
Yeah. So okay, the 2 set. Your minions deal 8% increased damage. Just
exciting.
Flat out. Yeah, this is incredible.
2 set is whatever, but I mean that's half of your mastery, right? Mastery increases shadow damage and minion damage, right? So
I mean, okay, it's fine. Whatever. 2 set. It's gonna be like if the stats remain the same, and I don't know if like because right now haste is good, but like mastery is where it's at.
Yeah,
right? So
well, you can. That's the thing, because you can like stack mastery, and you just get haste from this.
But is this like up to 8%? 8% is like the final cap, or does it go
like
beyond
4 minions. It's like APOC, army, and then you still have the talent. Then when you consume certain dudes,
but army has like 1 million of them.
Yeah,
this is the question.
So that's what I thought, man. What about you just get 20 haste up to like summon 10 dudes or whatever?
That's what I'm saying. Because if we're gonna have like 12 pets out,
well, we're frozen. Wait a minute.
Are we?
No.
Are we? Hello?
No, it's back. Apparently it's back. Maybe it was just a second.
Oh, well, there could be some delays on some people's stream or whatever. But did you see it on your end?
No, well, I cannot watch it because I'm watching chat and the websites.
Okay.
I'll keep it up.
But if you look now, is it okay?
No, it's fine.
All right. So just getting back to the Unholy 4 set. Now, it does say up to 8%. So this sounds like this is the max. Whatever, how many pets you have, if you get the 8%,
that would have been so cool if it would.
Yeah, that's the
army plus.
That's
APOC?
the missed opportunity. Give me that bombastic.
I think they could do that at the end of a tier, at the end of an expansion, because I feel like at the beginning they probably want to keep it a little bit safe. I would imagine that. But you cannot not see the potential.
This is the opportunity here. I mean, if you're gonna have Unholy,
now we're frozen.
Really?
Yes.
Like 100%.
Yeah, 100. I mean, my OBS is frozen. Jesus.
Okay, but we
switch back.
Let me see. Switch back to.
And now it's not switching anything.
I'm switching.
Is it temporary?
Switching.
And running.
Switching. Okay, so internet is good.
No, internet is fine. I mean, sound is good. We can.
Everybody
can see chats.
Everybody can still hear us, right?
Yep. No, audio's fine. Just the sound. Let me see if I can switch it from my end. Ka-ching, does it reset?
Like on our test, we tested it for like 10 minutes or something, nothing froze. No, it wants to freeze again.
It was so good. We tested it for like a full morning and there were no issues.
But like, how long were we frozen though?
Not very long. You could try to restart OBS. We'll still be live, which is the good thing. Your recording needs to make
no problem. Okay, so stop the record.
All right. Now it's working.
We're back on.
Might be some OBS issues.
Now this time it has to be OBS because there is no heavy load on anything.
I mean, even if it is at this point, I mean, come on. It's not like we're overloading with 10,000 effects and embeds and all of that stuff.
No. It's just like the visual information you get from my laptop. So it's all 1 gig internet. Hopefully it works. Do you have it like in front of you so we can like do? Look, I'm switching things now.
It's so good.
Switching,
all right,
switching.
It's looking nice so far. All the sound is good. So.
Yeah. The delay is the sync, video, voice, all good. Just checking once again. We only have like.
So they need to refresh apparently.
Okay, everybody refresh.
Everybody shuffle.
But question for the folks in the chat: were we frozen for a long time?
I don't think so. Well, I mean, I was on it. Just when you swapped scenes, when you went to the full screen, I think we were okay for like 2 seconds and then we froze.
Okay, well that's not super bad.
It's not too bad.
It's not like last time where we were frozen 10 minutes and we kept on doing the shit. All right, so
all right.
Do we have any feedback from the chat?
Yeah, it seems to be good. Let's go.
Okay.
So we were talking about the
Potential. The potential. So yeah, I get they want to go for the safe route with this one, and that's absolutely fine. I just feel like this is a big missed opportunity to like really stick it out there and not cap it at 8%. Maybe it would degenerate because we don't really know the other items we're gonna have, or well, we know a couple of them, but we haven't really got the chance to test them, especially in the raid environment. You mean
another puzzle box, huh? Yeah. You're thinking about another puzzle box.
That, I'm not saying anything because that was degenerate. Regardless, I cannot not stress it that this would have been one of the coolest things they could have ever done. Because, okay, it's not really gameplay altering, but it's just good feeling, right?
Yes. It's that concept that you feel like you're not limited, you're not shackled down by arbitrary breakpoints or any limitations like that. The same thing that was with Destro Warlock rework, where they kind of capped the infinite AoE scaling, which is something that only like 0.1% of players would ever achieve. But it was always nice to know that it's there, that you can actually go like, oh my god, I know that if I just have 20 pets, I just get 40% haste, which is ridiculous.
Yes, that would be the ultimate fantasy. And hey, Flame, look, we also have the designs here. We're not gonna cover them.
We can probably go over all of them at the end, right? And kind of have it like a separate
since they're on the screen right now, okay, let's just move along. Let's check out the Demon Hunter tier sets, everyone. Starting it off with Havoc. Okay, Blade Dance. So this is the 2-piece, okay? Blade Dance deal 20% increased damage. This is so complicated. I don't know how we're going to grab this Demon Hunter.
It's my favorite thing ever since I've ever heard things with my ears.
All right, so I think we can agree at this point that 2 sets is going to be probably very, very nothing. Bland. Yeah, super boring. All right, let's check out the 4-piece for Havoc. Chaos Strike deals 20% increased damage and has a 25% chance to reset the cooldown of Blade Dance.
So you can Blade Dance when you Blade Dance.
This is interesting. Are they trying to go back to the spammy Blade Style playstyle, or is that still a thing?
Blade Style playstyle. Now, Blade Dance is actually
Blade Style.
Listen, outside of all of the sets that they could do, this is actually not that bad. I mean, getting a reset on Blade Dance is pretty nice because you're probably going to be playing a lot of Blade Dance stuff. It doesn't really have any impact with your hero talents, which is a good thing because you don't really want to feel like you're shoehorned into like one particular hero talent and it doesn't.
Wait a minute. Going back to the DK.
I'm ecstatic now.
But we haven't said if we're gonna pass this one.
Oh, the Unholy.
Yeah, I'm passing it.
It's good. It's my favorite DK tier set so far.
It goes. All right. Boom. I'm sorry about that. I interrupted you, Flame.
It's okay. I'll check my feelings.
Yeah, check your feelings later on.
It's actually good. I mean, the 2 set is whatever. It's 20% more damage. We are clearly going to be playing a lot of Blade Dance stuff, like First Blood and all of that stuff with the bleed from the Blade Dance. And that's something that you've played before. It makes it more entry-level friendly.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Is this basically because I remember, like, at least for Dragonflight, you wouldn't play that much like Blade Dance spamminess.
You haven't really played since BFA that much.
I remember that. I think you also did some in Shadowlands at some point.
And you always had Blade Dance, but I think Shadowlands like have the time you weren't, the problem with Blade Dance that you probably remember is that it was the best single target ability as an AoE ability back in BFA. And that was just a weird thing.
It was
It's still a strong ability, but it's not like it was back then. And I think it's fine. It's not particularly amazing considering that you're going from something that Blade Dance throws throw glaives, and throw glaives reset the cooldown of the hunt, which would shorten the cooldown of the hunt, and that was a really cool concept. You're kind of having that through the spec tree rework to begin with, so it's not that bad. I think it's okay.
Yeah, are we gonna pass this one? It's a pass.
Yeah,
Flame says it's a pass. It's gonna be a pass. I don't really fuck with Demon Hunters
pass
anymore, but yeah, okay, it's cool. We're gonna pass it. Let's check out the
Vengeance
2 set, which is Soul Cleave deals 15% increased damage and has a 35% chance to shatter one lesser soul fragment from a target it hits. I was expecting, soul fragments all over the place. This 2 set is actually more interesting. It's not. Hey, have more damage. Bye.
I do have something to say about this. What does the force say before I go into it?
Okay, so force set is consuming a soul fragment increases the damage and healing of your next fell devastation by 2% up to 30%.
It sounds more interesting than what Havoc is getting, to be fair.
A lot more interesting, yes. A lot more interesting.
Well, this happened earlier this week where I tested the Havoc hero talents for a video that might come soon.
Yeah, talk to us.
And one of those was the Eldrachi Reaver that focuses a lot on the soul fragments.
No. It's Aldracu Reaver. For all Romanians there. All right, carry on. Sorry.
And it was unilaterally a little bit too
unilaterally.
Unilaterally.
I think you want to say unilaterally. We said unilaterally. Yeah, it's unilaterally.
Yeah, it feels like it favors the Eldrachi hero's talent more.
All right, you're finished. Okay, but in terms of like the 2 set, I feel like even though it's nothing major, I just love the fact that hey, you still have a chance to get some soul fragments over there because that's like
that's part of your
mechanic.
mitigation.
Yeah, but it's not just hey, deal more damage, or in case of a tank, here absorb this damage. Sure. Of course. But man, Fell Devastation has to be one of the coolest abilities they ever introduced in the World of Warcraft universe, and the fact that this is impacting that with the healing and damage. I just love that. I feel that's so iconic for Vengeance.
I know a lot of Vengeance don't like this, but we like it, and I think it's one of the coolest thing. And it has been a little bit underwhelming so far. It was only a means to activate Demonic for Vengeance for quite a while. I know,
man, but just how it looked, how it felt so like
cool. You're like vomiting.
This thing right here, this may put it back into where it should be because it looks cool, it feels cool. I would say a big pass.
Big pass,
big
sure.
pass
Bigger
for
than
Vengeance
Havoc.
Demon Hunter. All right. Moving on. Let's check out the visuals. Not today. Moving on to Druid. Starting off with Balance, which Flame used to main. 2-piece bonus. Star Surge damage increased by 8%. Starfall damage increased by 10%.
Don't let it knock you off your feet, man.
Damn, this is some hard shit, man. How are you gonna even do this? Okay, this is pretty much in line with all of the 2 set bonuses. Okay, let's check out the 4-piece. Lunar Eclipse and Solar Eclipse each increase the astral power Rat generates by 1 and Starfire generates by 2. Fucking degenerate chickens. Talk about them.
It's just the same old. I mean, it's just how it functions normally with generating a bit more. You're cycling through your eclipses. Nothing actually surprising whatsoever. I don't think it would impact any talent choices that you might take. I don't think it would scale with stuff like Soul of the Forest or things like that. I think Balance is good, considering that it's coming from a very bland tier set going into another bland tier set. Might not make the chickens happy, but you do not have Arcanic Pulsar, which might not still make you happy. So welcome to Feral. That's all I have to say.
Unilaterally, it sucks. So does it get a pass though?
I don't like it,
no.
It's too boring, and considering that the talent rework is not particularly that great, I wouldn't pass it.
Okay, no pass.
No,
we're sorry. I don't really dig Boomkins. I'm sorry. I love you, but I don't really like it. It's an abomination. And okay, carrying on. Okay, let's move on to Feral Druid. 2-piece. Tiger's Fury increases your chance to critically strike for 10 seconds, starting at 6% and increasing by 1% every 2 seconds. This is interesting. This is actually not a here's more damage. Well, it is more damage at the end of the day translated, but again...
Does this mean you want to cast Rip at the end of Tiger's Fury to benefit from the most amount of crit in your snapshot? Because that's how I hear it, and that is degenerate as fuck. People will not like that at all.
I know, but at least just from an bird's eye view, it is a different two-piece.
The concept is fine. The concept is actually cool because they do want to make Tiger's Fury have more of an impact in terms of your burst damage. They don't want it to be like something that you just have uptime 100% of the time. I don't know how much this would impact the actual snapshotting mechanic, which is still only really happening with Tiger's Fury and Blood Talents. But it does feel like that's how it is. I don't know if it matters that much where you would deliberately override rips because that's a degenerate.
Hey, deliberately or unilaterally?
Unilaterally.
Let's read the 4-piece, okay? So, critical strikes with your combo point generating abilities increase the direct damage of your next Ferocious Bite and Rampant Ferocity or Primal Wrath by 15%, stacking up to 3 times. 45%. Okay, so this is I think this is pretty cool overall, man. Because you get increased crit strike from Tiger's Fury. Okay, so you bumping up the importance of that. Listen, I made Feral. Tiger's Fury was fine. It was just like slice and dice for rogues. It was just keep it there. All right, so the fact that they're doing this and they basically bump in the crit, that's very interesting. However, this kind of ties in really nice with the, this is cool. This is the combo point generating abilities. So it kind of like synergizes first with the Tiger's Fury crit increase, then you spam. Your rotation involves like generating combo points, and then those combo points will be consumed by Ferocious Bite, Primal Rights, blah, 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 with a increased damage of a total of 45%. I think this is really good, man.
This is actually just going to make Feral feel way better overall on paper, right? Depends on how it functions under the hood. But you're basically doing good generators. You're probably going to stack a lot of crit, and then the payoff of the finish is just way better. And I like it that it doesn't necessarily affect Rip, because whenever they do dot stuff, it usually has a tendency to kind of not work properly. And I like bites. I know 99% of the Ferals kind of want to go away from bites and they want their bleeds back. But this is probably the safest way to do a finisher tier set. Yeah, going in with new talents.
I'm okay with it, man. Yeah. I'm okay with it. And again, it's not only Ferocious Bite. Like, I don't think they're ever going to get rid of Ferocious Bite. It's there. It's like the finisher.
But
maybe
it's iconic.
Yeah, I know. I love it. I love it. You know, biting the shit. But there's also the Rampant Ferocity and Primal Wrath. So you have all of these getting buffed, which is I like this. This
might actually make it good for Mythic Plus.
Yeah, this is a big pass, I would say.
Yes,
this is a big pass.
Way better than Chicken, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, come on, man, it's poop kills. All right, Guardian Druid 2-piece. Let's go. Thrash and Moonfire increase your damage done and reduce the damage you take by 1% for 8 seconds, stacking up 3 times. 3% damage reduction. That's a lot, man. That will save your ass.
Be careful, Vengeance. Bear's coming for your ass.
Yeah, the new meta is in town.
You might hear it way in the back. You might say, "Hey, hello, Bears."
Oh man, this is sad. Okay, 4-piece. Arcane damage you deal is increased by 5%, and bleed damage you deal is increased by 5%.
This is terribly boring, but also affecting 2 styles of playstyles that you never combine almost ever.
Why?
Because I don't know if they're gonna be reworking any of the talents for Bear, but you realistically have 2 styles of playing Bear: Arcane or Physical. Our Physical is a little bit more tanky. Arcane is usually a little bit more damage, and with Physical you get all the bleedy stuff.
And the Galactic Guardians and all of that shit.
I can dig a focus on the Arcane version, but you know they really want to make it not what is it? Elune's Warrior Chosen, the hero talent, whatever the Bear Mooney thing.
Mooney.
And so not make it focus too much on that, and they kind of want to make that balance between that and Druid of the Claw.
No.
But see, like, okay, let's get that one 5%, and that one to 5%, and we're good, right? Okay, what else is next? That's kind of how it feels like.
I think it's a good time now to like make a disclaimer. Listen, guys, this is the first iteration of the tier set bonuses. We're gonna trash and bash everything around here, but we do know that these are gonna suffer a lot of changes.
For sure.
Like, mind you, in Dragonflight, we had whole tier sets bonuses being changed from what they were initially announced. Okay, so we have to make this disclaimer here, right?
But first impressions kind of matter, right? Because this is how people will look at it. As like when I'm gonna be playing WoW, I want to raid. Is this the tier set I'm getting? Like this is like a live reaction for players.
3% damage reduction, yo. You better get me inside.
We all know bears just need that 3%.
Oh Jesus! All right. Let's check out Resto because
the tree.
Yeah, 2-piece, regrowth, wild growth, and Swiftman healing increased by 10%. Complicated, I like it very much. Very, very impactful to your rotations and priorities. Let's check out the 4th set. Stop it, motherfucker. Okay, the 4th set for restoration. Your healing is increased by 8% when consuming Soul of the Forest bonus and for 6 seconds afterward. I forgot what Soul of the Forest
That
does for
activates
Resto.
when you use a Swiftman, then you consume a little hot on it.
Oh, okay. So this is this incentivizing to do that more?
Well, Soul of the Forest mechanic is actually a really good way to actually keep people up because it gives you that little burst healing. And you can use it on Wild Growth and Mythic Plus to kind of keep up a good hot on everybody, or use it like on a regrowth in raids or single target spot healing. So it's actually a good mechanic to give you flexibility when it comes to your throughput. If the numbers are actually relevant, I mean, they are buffing the spells, but it's kind of hard to tell with just reading a tooltip. You kind of need sims or something like that.
This is the thing when you read the first iterations of these, because you see numbers like 8% and 3% and 5%. You're just like, man, but that is shit. That doesn't impact me and no capacity. But again, we cannot really go too far on that. I guess the 4-piece is okay.
It's good. I mean, overall, it's good. It's good to incentivize good habits being built.
Yeah, for sure. I guess we'll give this a slight pass. Okay, Guardian Druid, no passes at all, right? I don't know.
It's a little bit too boring. I'm sorry. It's
pass.
It's balance level boring.
No, fuck that. Okay, but we're gonna get Bristow. It's flowers for today. Evoker. Let's check out Evoker. Starting it off with everybody's favorite meta spec, Augmentation. So the 2-piece. Upheaval deals 30% increased damage and increases the damage of your next 2 eruption casts by 30%. This is a big chunk of damage here.
You would think that, but it's also the fact that Augmentation doesn't really do a lot of damage on its own. So getting it some increase in its own damage, that's actually interesting, and that's probably something that a lot of Augmentations can appreciate, because you're not just the buffs that you're giving to your party, right?
But let me ask you, Augmentation mains out there, are you like really incentivized to see yourselves doing a lot of damage? Is that like the reason why you play Augmentation showing up there? Because I feel like they don't really need to do that necessarily. What they contribute with the DPS, of course, but I think they're.
I guess it kind of depends on how they want to balance how much damage I'm giving to my group versus how much damage I'm actually doing to my group. Because there's a point, I think even now, where if Devastation just does way more damage than Augmentation, considering all the damage buffs that Augmentation gives also. So I guess it could also feel a little bit better to know that you can also provide a little bit more. Plus, this is more friendly for new players that don't have to optimize all of the Ebon Mites and all of the Prescience and Prescience for whatever.
Pleasant Stance, it's Pestilence. For DKs, it's a different word for every time we're trying to pronounce it. It's fine. Let's check out the 4-piece before we get our brains wrapped up in our tongues. 4 set for Augmentation. Ebon Might increases primary stats by an additional 0.4 of your own every 2 seconds. It remains active up to 2%. Okay, so this is cool actually, because on one hand, the 2-piece is going to give you a boost in damage, and the 4-piece complements your it complements your actual, I would say, main purpose within a group, like,
it's
even like miting everybody and buffing them up.
It's kind of like the rest of one, where you're incentivized to actually play and extend your Ebon Might as much as possible to give people a.
I like this. Yeah, I like this.
It's pretty nice. I fix both of the things that Augmentation likes to do.
Yeah, I hate how they look, the Dractors and shit like that. I think that was a missed opportunity. I think we said this every time we had the chance to. I love the concept of Augmentation. I love this tier set. I just don't like how the Dractors look. Until they give me a big buff-ass dragon, there's no chance I'm playing Augmentation. I'm just gonna talk shit about it for the rest of my life.
Tauren, man, just you watch.
Oh my god, that's gonna be amazing. But this goes for a pass. I like this.
It's good. I like it too.
100% gets a pass as a tier set. Okay, let's check out Devastation, because Devastation is for all of you French people out there. Devastation, 2-piece. Disintegrate damage increased by 10% and fire damage increased by 10%. Well, at this point, we can just carry on, because this is, this is what you get.
We know. We've seen it before.
They move the tuning. They leave out your class broken. You get your tier set so you can be complete. But that's fine. That's okay. That's better than having legendaries and fucking Torghast and fucking Covenants and all over the place and grind your life away. Fuck that. All right. 4-piece. Eternity Surge cooldown is decreased by 5 seconds, and it now grants Essence Burst, not bird. Essence
bird is the word.
Essence bird. Okay, so you played Devastation for a while.
Yes.
I haven't touched it because I hate Dractors.
This is not bad. Like the 4-piece is not really bad. And Eternity Surge is something that was one of the more cool abilities that you could do, and it has functionalities or applications rather in both single target and AoE. I don't think it's that bad. The 2-piece feels like, we just need to buff Devastation. Let's just put it into a tier set and not actually tune it. But Eternity Surge cooldown decreased by 5 seconds. That's That's kind of hard to tell what's great about that. I don't know if it's going to align with other stuff better, or if you're just going to have just more uptime on it, and that's particularly great. But Essence Burst is a cool thing to get, and then you can just instantly consume it with a buffed up Disintegrate, because it's buffed now from the 2-piece.
Yeah, but okay, question is, do we give it a pass? I cannot pronounce. I will not give it a pass.
A soft pass. The 4-piece is moderately interesting. And considering that we live in a world where we had the bear one and the chicken one being the way it is.
True.
This has to get like a soft pass.
Okay, soft pass. All right. Preservation! The healing spec for all of you out there who don't know. The 2-piece, Reversion and Emerald Blossom heal an injured ally within 30 yards for 10% of any amount healed. Hello?
Yes.
This is what?
This is not like, oh, it does 5% more healing.
No, I like this.
So we kind of have to take another look at it.
So okay, let's talk about this, because I feel this coming out a little bit out of left field. So are these like, I don't know the healing spells of Preservation, Reversion and Emerald Blossom? These are like
they're
main
good spells. So Reversion is kind of like Rejuvenation, but it also heals for a portion of the damage that they took recently. And Emerald Blossom is that big flower that explodes on the ground. Okay. Now, I don't know what they mean by within 30 yards for 10% of any amount healed.
I think
so. They heal a first target and then somebody else for 10%.
I think this is an extra 10%. So I think you have the initial heals from Blossom, Emerald Blossom and Reversion, and then if there's somebody else within 30 yards, it also heals them for 10% of any of the amount healed. So if you have like big crits on your main targets with Emerald Blossom and Reversion, 10% out of that will also go. I think this is not 10% increased healing. This is interesting.
This is AoE healing, by the way, and the 4-piece. What does the 4-piece say?
4-piece say Verdant Embrace increases the healing of your next Reversion by 200%.
Now that's spot healing. So we're going back to kind of how Preservation was played at the beginning of Dragonflight with a Reversion focused playstyle. That's when I mained it, and it was kind of fun. And you played echoes, and you would echo Reversion around, and that was pretty good with Golden Hour being a big part of your healing. It's fun. It's not something that a lot of Preservations liked, to be fair. I don't remember them liking this style of playstyle because it was a little bit boring. But then again, we go back to probably just them wanting to keep it safe.
Well, it's safe, but for me, when I see this, because I know their philosophy, what their philosophy was in Dragonflight with the tier sets, and everything was kind of, boring, increased damage overall. When I see things like this, that actually, so this is not like giga gameplay changing, but it does look different, and it does feel like there's a different mechanic involved there, and I like this about tier sets.
To be fair, this also kind of forces you somehow into a particular build, which is not something that the other towns. Well, you would probably have to play heavy on Reversion, probably Echo. It's not gonna take capstones or anything like that, but.
But do we give it a pass? I want to give it a pass. So
yeah, no, it's good. It's
a pass. All right.
It's more interesting than the rest of Druid one.
Okay. Let's check out Hunter. So it's pretty much redundant to talk about the tier sets for Hunters, because we did have an announcement posted
earlier
that
today,
they will have updates for all of the specs and talents. So reworks are coming, and I'm sure that the tier sets will probably either be changed or will probably reflect better with the actual changes announced. That being said, let's quickly go over them. We'll not pass or anything, because I think this will not matter in a week from now for Hunter specs. So Beast Mastery 2-set piece, Barb Shot further increases your pet's attack speed by 5%. Pretty cool. Okay.
Fine,
yeah. 4-piece for Beast Mastery. Your pet's attacks have a 10% chance to increase all pet damage you deal by 10% for 2 seconds. Okay, so it's all about the pets, attack speed.
Surprisingly not as boring as some of the other ones that we've seen so far, and it's very generic. It could probably work with any type of rework that BM will have. Most likely, probably all Hunter Tish is going to be like this.
We'll see if this is the case for all the specs. Okay, Marksmanship. Arcane Shot and Multi-Shot damage increased by 20%. This is a bigger number than I was expecting. And 4-piece Consuming Precise Shots increases the damage of your next aimed shot by 10%, stacking up 2 times. Okay, so this is the thing, like consuming precise shots and then increasing the aim shot by 10%. We don't know if this is going to be correlated with some potential rework. It could be, it could be not.
If it was, they would have to change like fundamental ways of how marksmanship functions with precise shots and trick shots, because I would imagine the aim shot increase obviously is going to affect your AoE since it will cleave with trick shots. I don't know if the 20% for multi-shot matters, because multi-shot doesn't do any damage for hunters. Well, Arcane Shot might, and it might scale better with the precise shots casting of that multi-shot, so that would probably be good. I like when they focus on aim shot, considering that we've had just rapid fire now, so it's a happy change, I guess.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know if things are going to change. Maybe multi-shot will be like giga buffed and have some synergies on the new talents. This is what I'm saying. We're not going too deep into it because we don't know the
numbers that don't matter anyway, but the functionality is not that bad actually. Surprisingly, I was gonna, I know what survival is, but I was gonna roast hunters to death, but I think marksmanship is not that bad. It's a pass.
Yeah, okay. But, not gonna go for pass or not here because again, we're waiting reworks. Survival. Wildfire bomb damage increased by 5%. Jesus Christ, man. These guys have these have the curse of bombs, but okay. Let's check it out, the 4-piece as well. Mongoose Bite and Raptor Strike deals 10% increased damage to targets affected by wildfire bomb. Get the fuck out of here. Are they doing bombs like since when are they doing like BFA bombs and bombs and bombs and bombs and bombs all
it's
the
like
bombs
it's like you said, it depends on how the rework is, although I would be surprised
this
if
is
the
bombs,
rework
man. I think it's enough already. It's enough. Listen, enough with the bombs. Okay, I know there's a lot of like, I used to play survival. Believe it or not, I started PvEing on the survival hunter back in BFA. Flame knows.
That's when I was a virgin still.
Or say it now, motherfucker. Say it again. Look at the nice folk watching the stream and say it again. But survival is a spec that is very near and dear to our hearts.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think I loved it in BFA. I think you loved it. When was it? In Shadowlands, you made it.
Kind of always love it.
Yeah, it's a lovable
like that father
spec.
that's disappointed with the child. Like,
yeah.
I still love you, but I'm disappointed.
Enough already with the goddamn bombs, man. Don't you guys have any other ideas for this spec? It's like all the goddamn time, all you do is something regarding with the bombs.
Because it doesn't necessarily have anything else in the talent series going for it, which is why we need a rework bad. So it might feel better next week once we know exactly what survival is looking at in the world within. We're
not staying too much on the hunters once again, because a rework is going to come, and basically any arguments we're going to make now about any of the tier set bonuses on hunters is going to be pretty much useless. So we're moving on to Mage. Now Mage, we know already that Mage in the War Within is looking pretty effing great. All right, like I don't know about Frost, but I know Fire is like one of the best, and Arcane is also looking really good. So let's check out Arcane. 2-piece set, Arcane Blast and Arcane Explosion damage increased by 6%. Right, it's but let's check out the 4-piece. Casting Arcane Blast or Arcane Explosion has a 10% chance to increase your next Arcane Barrage, deal 10% increased damage, and generate 4 Arcane charges.
That is actually really cool. I'm not sold off on Arcane Explosions because we did test Arcane now, and granted, we wait for the big brains of Arcane to tell us what the best way to play is. But trying to play with both of the hero talents, I couldn't find reasons to press Arcane Explosion a lot. I don't know if this year.
But that used to be.
It used to be,
something,
but if you play Spellslinger, for instance, you want to cast Arcane Blast in AoE, which is great because the 4-set affects Arcane Blast. And if you play Sun Fury, you don't really have incentive to press or not press either one. So maybe that works better with Sun Fury.
I think the biggest value here is the 4 Arcane charges.
That's good.
For the 4-set, yeah. Yeah, what? What is it, man?
There is a talent.
You always have to say something.
I always do. When you fire an Arcane Barrage, you have a chance to fire an Arcane Orb, and that already gives you 4 Arcane charges. But if you get another 4 from the tier sets...
Well, you're talking about capping them? Like, I mean...
overcapping, yeah.
If there's going to be an issue in overcapping
It will definitely affect how you play your game, and you probably will need weak cards. That's what I'm thinking.
All right. But at least, like, we know that they've kind of, like, eased out the spec. So
it's not that bad. You probably won't have to play... It might be the only...
Because if you add overcapping Arcane charges on top of what you already needed, like 3 degrees in universities, neuroscience and NASA specialty, add an overcapping to that.
It might be the only tier set that makes you have to not pick a talent, which would be really weird. But it might be too early to say. But that's how it looks like when you just read it.
Okay. But we pass it, right?
Yeah,
it's a pass.
It sounds pretty cool. Yeah,
Has to be has to be
Fucking main
pass. All right, moving on to Fire Mage. Let's check out the 2-piece. Phoenix Flames damage increased by 10%. This amount is increased to 25% on its primary target. I like it. I think they did great with Phoenix Flames. I think Phoenix Flames is awesome. Like, you know, the talent tree for fire is just absolutely mwah. And then you have things like this, like I think whatever they touch from the talent tree would be good, but I like this set.
It's just really good. Yeah.
Okay, 4-piece. After dealing damage, Phoenix Flames. Okay, so it's around Phoenix Flames. Awesome. After dealing damage, Phoenix Flames has a 10% chance to return to you. Wow. Does it actually show that? That would be so cool.
Actually,
you throw the Phoenix Flames, they come back, bitch. Lovely. Okay, chance to return to you, refunding 1% of the cooldown on Phoenix Flames and granting you 6%. Dude, this is so.
I told you, man.
So good. This is unbelievable.
Whoever designs anything on Mage, they just love the
who
video
are
game,
you
man.
Who are you? Like, let's make some, let's send them a champagne. This the guy, girl, whatever, who is working on Mage, like starting from the talents to like the hero talents to this.
I mean, you could have 5% more damage on bleeds or 5% more on arcane or an actual mechanic.
Actual mechanic. Is this like, I don't know, we'll check out all of the other tier sets, but this looks like proper.
This is like that kid in class when everybody gets an assignment and that kid just goes and does the extra thing and everybody's looking like, motherfuckers, they only told us to do this much and you're doing this much. That dev is like walking in the boardroom is like, why is everybody looking at me?
Everybody, you feel those electric eyes on you as the Fire Mage designer.
God.
Beautiful stuff. This is like the biggest pass we're going to give so far, for sure. The Fire Mage is such a winner, man. Such a winner in terms of everything. Jesus. Okay, Frost Mage. 2-piece. Ice Lance damage increased by 5%, and Fingers of Frost increased the damage of your next frozen orb by 10%, stacking up 10 times.
That's actually pretty cool.
Whoa, wait a minute. So Ice Lance damage is increased. Are we frozen?
No.
I'm asking, are we frozen because our Frost Mage?
No, we've been good so far. It would have been poetic.
It would have been cool to be frozen on the Frost Mage discussion. Ha, ha, ha. All right. So Ice Lance damage increased by 5%. That's okay.
That's just whatever, yeah.
Blah. But Fingers of Frost increases damage of your next frozen orb by 10% stacking. So that's like, is that I'm not no mathematician, but if my calculations are correct here and my in-depth analysis is going how it's supposed to be, is this 100% increased damage?
It sounds like it's 100% because you add 1 0. What I'm curious is this would become like a single target build as well if you're gonna press. You're already kind of pressing frozen orb on raid bosses.
Dude, anyway. No. This you will press frozen orb in single target. You will have to take that 100. Dude, it's 100% increased damage for it. There's unless they have something like really balancing out in the Frost talent tree, I don't see why you would not use that.
You know what's good about Frost when you lose Glacial Spike? That's Frozen Orb, buddy, because Frozen Orb is so fun and it's so cool to play, and it's one of like the. Yeah, I don't think you're not gonna be playing with Glacial Spike. I don't think this has anything to do with whether or not you're picking Glacial Spike. I would be surprised if this makes you want to play like heavy Frozen Orb talents into raids. You're still gonna be playing Frozen Orb in raids, but I don't know if we're gonna go like for freezing raid or anything like that.
This is such a different discussion from like all of the previous 2 sets we've seen. Is like, hey, 10% increased damage. Good luck. This is really cool. Like, you know, mechanics like this, stacking up shit. You know, having you to like ponder, hey, am I taking Frozen Orb in single target? This is what tier set's supposed to be doing with your mind. You know, you have a spec and you get this tier set and
they work with each other, so it's so great.
The synergy between them, I love this. Okay, but we haven't even read the 4-piece.
Yeah.
So Frozen Orb increases Ice Lance's damage by 15% for 50. Okay, so it's like pretty much Ice Lance, Frozen Orb. Beautiful.
It's gonna be Icy Veins shooting Ice Lance all over again. I feel like this was very reminiscent of the early Shadowlands playstyle of Frost Mage, which was fun. I mean, it was degenerate, but it was fun. A one-time thing, just shooting out Ice Lances that deal more damage than Glacial Spike was a little bit hilarious.
I think we can give it a pass, no problemo. Sure. Maybe a little bit, yeah, because you mentioned this about the super spammy Ice Lance. Maybe that it's a little bit too restrictive in some capacity, just having that playstyle available due to this tier set, I believe. But then again, if it's
not that bad. It's actually fine because you're kind of still playing. There are 1 or 2 Ice Lance talents that you're not taking on Frost Mage right now, and they're not gonna make it so that you spam Ice Lance instead of Frost Bolt. But it's gonna make Ice Lances beefy.
I love it. I love it. Okay, pass. It's really good. Yeah. Okay, so again, Mage wins.
Is a winner across the board. All W's, baby.
Mage
Holy
wins.
shit.
Okay, let's check out Monks. Monk, another Brewmaster.
Fresh
do we
class.
Have fresh class, yeah. We have a couple of reworks here. Windwalker, very, very shining. Brewmaster,
Brewmaster still needs
to be discussed, to be decided. But let's check it out. So starting off with Brewmaster 2-piece, Blackout Kick and Cake Smash deal 20% additional damage. What a shock. And Shuffle also grants 3% damage reduction. Okay, well, at least we have two sides of the story here.
I think this 3% is way better than the bear.
Than the bear one, yeah, of course.
This is also a stagger, so
yeah, of course it is. 4-piece. Blackout Kick increases your damage dealt by 1% for 15 seconds, stacking up to 3, and has a chance to reset the cooldown of Cake Smash and make its next cast cost no energy.
Ooh,
I like it.
I like Cake Smash.
I mean, what is not to like about you're a Brewmaster monk?
You're
gonna
drink
like
beer. You give beer to enemies.
Yes, and that's the beer you give to them is not that good tasting.
Because you're gonna light it on fire with your breath because you never brush your teeth as a Brewmaster. We all know that.
Okay, so the 2-piece, just having 20% increased additional damage, that's fine. The value of the 3% from Shuffle is obviously really good. But I think like when you use like Blackout Kick and have damage increased, what's that? They said increase that stacking up. So 3% increased damage for 15 seconds stacking up. That's okay. But having the chance, so again, another 4-piece where you have some mechanic.
It does some things, right, that you have to react to.
Really good. And I feel like, having the cooldown for Cake Smash and have it cost no energy makes the spec play even more fluid than it already is. So I think it's bad.
Yeah, it's really good. I like it. Definitely better than Bear.
All right. Mistweaver. Now, we haven't really touched Mistweaver, have we?
No, we've kind of glanced through the talents, but not a lot of playing going through it. It's coming. It's like a week or two away.
Okay. Let's check out the 2-piece. Envelop in Mist and Renew in Mist. Healing increased by 10%. Well, it's again another boring 2-piece, but we have seen examples with 2-piece being better.
They're opening themselves to use tuning knobs to make sure that they're kind of.
All right, 4-piece for Mistweaver. Vivify extends the duration of Renew in Mist and Envelop in Mist on its primary target by 2 seconds up to 4 seconds.
Wait a minute, what do you mean up to 4 seconds? Oh, as in twice. You can do it twice. Okay.
That's interesting.
That's actually not bad.
It's not bad, but how does this go with everything like the melee heals? I feel like this, like, for the days I was playing Mistweaver back in BFA, I remember, I used to play from a distance, never really played like melee. And this was like, I was always like checking out, Vivify, extending Renew and Mist, all of that. Does this work with the mechanics of punching around?
I mean, Rising Mist already works to extending your Renewing Mist. I think it also I don't remember if it also extends Enveloping Mist, but this adds a little bit of extra extension, considering that you're probably going to have the instant Vivify every 10 seconds. I think that's still a thing, but the fact that you probably will have to hard cast it every now and again won't give you up 100% uptime on any of those, I don't think. But it just adds a little bit of extra uptime, and you probably, over the course of a big fight, might have just more HOTS out. I don't know what the math will end up being, and I'm sure that they will probably tune the duration and the healing. But if it's more uptime on HOTS, that probably means you're probably going to be playing Rising Mist. So I don't know if that's...
Yeah, I was just, a little bit intrigued because Vivify is not really a melee ability, but it's, the thing where you'd kind of like play outside of like the melee stuff. So that's why. But if it's not going to affect the melee playstyle, because I know a lot of people love that and they want to play that. Teachers of the Monastery, was it?
Well, that's also kind of played in both, I feel, but it's now it's kind of like hybrid, but it's fine. It's not that bad. It's not particularly amazing either.
Are we passing this just because of the extension, or no? Because I cannot really.
I think the extension is a little bit too short to kind of make a big difference, considering that most of the time you're gonna get that extension by hard casting Vivify, and you're already wasting like what 1.5 to 2 seconds of Vivify. Okay. So it's kind of like the same thing. I don't know.
I feel it's too boring anyways.
I feel like it might shoehorn you into Rising Mist, and it doesn't give you option to not play that if you don't want to.
All right.
Maybe.
We're not passing it. That's it. It's cold. We're not passing Mistweaver tier set. Sorry. Let's check out Windwalker. Now, Windwalker
is close to Mage.
Windwalker and Fire Mage, I think, are the stars of the show up until this point. In terms of reworks, hero talents, all of that. So let's see how they do with the tier set bonuses. Now, Windwalker 2-piece. Tiger Palm increases the damage of your next melee ability by 5%. Now, this I like more than the flat out, you take increased damage for this ability. The fact that Tiger Palm increases of your next melee ability, this includes a lot of other abilities.
Does this mean you're going to use Tiger Palm every other global?
Well, I think so. Yes. Do they still have the mastery where you have to like always switch in between?
Yeah, but
Okay, so use palm. Use Tiger Palm, another ability. Tiger Palm, another ability.
5% isn't that big. You're definitely gonna want to use it on stuff like maybe Fist of Fury and Sun Kick.
Well, it's still 5% for every
Yeah.
other ability. So, but, I mean, you
it-
can potentially talk about some gameplay altering situation
Yeah,
here.
it
Flame.
implies you actually using your global slightly different, or at least making them matter.
Okay, let's check out the 4-piece
Yeah.
though. So, Windwalker 4-piece, your other melee abilities increase the damage of your next Tiger Palm by 25%, stacking up to 6 times. Holy moly! Mathematicians. So, this is a lot. So, you're going to have Tiger Palm hitting. You're definitely going to use Tiger Palm every other global. This is it.
I don't know if
This
you're
is
gonna
it.
get to like full 6 stacks, unless that 5% is so negligible that you probably don't want to use Tiger Palm. And I think you might run out of energy if you do that. Probably.
You
if
think
you
so?
use it every other global.
Let me finish this. So 15% of Tiger's Palm damage is dealt onto nearby enemies, reduced beyond 5 targets.
Tiger Palm does very little damage.
I know, but they're buffing it to this, so they're stacking this to 6%. Okay, so you're gonna use Tiger Palm to increase the melee abilities by 5%. Then all of the other abilities you're going to use are gonna stack Tiger's Palm damage.
Okay, here's where I'll meet you halfway. The concept is really cool. I really like Tiger Palm being an interesting, because you're just,
Dude, this is basically gonna be 150% Tiger Palm damage.
if
you go to the full stack.
If they if they tune Tiger Palm to be a legit, because they did add a bunch of talents that affect Tiger Palm and how you want to press it and use it in your rotation, and that's great. But it would also have to matter, right? Because you're equipping your, this is how you're gonna be a Windwalker, right? Picture this, and you're equipping your tier set. It's like now my Tiger Palm is gonna slap, right?
Yeah, slap
Well,
that shit.
It has to slap, right? Otherwise, you're like, oh my
And it
God,
will slap.
I guess I just have another epic and not really a tier piece. So
It will
that's
slap.
very important.
It will slap. I would like to say this is yet again another tier set, at least the 4-piece, where I really dig what's happening. So again, some cool ass mechanics, abilities buffing other abilities, stacking up to multiplicative stuff, and also you have a percentage of that big ass damage being cleaved to other enemies. Really cool. Now this, I am 100% positive they want to make Tiger Palm matter more. They wouldn't put cleave into it. Like
Yeah, well,
they wouldn't
They
want
have
it to
to
be
now
in there.
if it stays like this. But we all know that Windwalker has been a hit and miss with the tier sets. I mean, just recently they had to readdress how auto
I
attacks
know.
work just to make a tier set work. So yeah, I would expect maybe this is a hint that Tiger Palm is gonna get some buffs.
But good pass. I would say good pass for Windwalker.
Sure.
I don't want to
Yeah.
hear it.
I like the
Why aren't
concept.
you excited? Why aren't you excited, man?
This Tiger Palm is just like my mom trying to hit me.
All right.
Doesn't hurt anymore.
Paladin. I think a lot of people waited for this one because Paladin, not all the specs, but we'll cover each and every one.
Holy,
Let's check out Holy Paladin 2 set. Holy Shock healing is increased by 10%, and its cooldown is reduced by 10%. The cooldown reduction I like.
Sure.
Healing increased, it's fine. It's another boring 2-piece, as many others have we've read so far. Let's check out the 4-piece for Holy Paladins. Holy Shock increases the initial healing of your next Word of Glory or Light of Dawn by 8%, stacking up to 4 times. Okay, so that's 32% with Holy Shocks.
Yes, but that would mean, because what this means is you're essentially, if you're not weaving in Shield of the Righteous, you're probably never going to get to 4 stacks. Because Holy Shock generates 1 Holy Power. You're also pressing Critical Strike for Holy Power. So you're going to overcap Holy Power before you probably get to 4 stacks. Unless you're deliberately weaving Shield of the Righteous, which you might. You probably don't always need to heal. In raids, this might not be that big, though. In dungeons, it might be better. And it all revolves around because you healed on the alpha, and we know that
There's something peculiar happening over there.
The heals are very low, so 8% of something that's very low is not.
It's not like we don't know, because the tuning on healing and whatever they're trying to do with the healers, I'm pretty sure there's something happening over there.
Yeah.
But in terms of like the mechanics, so is it a bad thing to like have Shield of the Righteous? thrown in there.
No, it's not a bad thing, but think about it this way. In raids, if you heal with Holy Paladin, there's always somebody that you need to heal, right?
Yeah.
So you're never going, you don't have that many opportunities to spend Shield Righteous. And I'm not talking about the giga of you're refarming, you're reclearing, and nobody's taking any damage, and you're just weaving in those Shield Righteous. Because if you are, then this tier set is dog shit, because you're not going to heal with it anyway, because you're just going to be doing damage. So that's maybe a different thing to address with the tier set that's not really affecting your damage output as well, considering that Holy Paladin kind of does that.
Okay, yeah, but are we passing this?
I feel I don't like it.
I'm not convinced.
I'm not a big fan of it, considering that what red is going and what prod is currently.
You
going,
already know.
Like, no. I mean how the classes are played, how
okay.
their interaction is. Like, I'm not sold off on it yet.
Speaking of, let's check out protection. Okay, so we're not passing Holy, but let's check out the protection tier set bonuses. Starting with the 2-piece.
All right.
Shield of the Righteous deals 10% increased damage and grants 3% damage reduction. Hey, another 3% damage reduction. How about them apples, yo? Shut up. Let's check out the 4-piece. Maybe this will save it. Casting a Holy Power ability increases the... Is this a Holy Power generating ability? Or is this a Holy Power...
That's a good question. It's usually a spender if they word it like that.
Casting a Holy Power ability increases the damage and healing you deal during your next Avenging Wrath by 0.5%. This affects stacks. Thanks for clarifying that. We really wanted to know exactly...
How many times? It doesn't say?
No.
There's no cap?
Well, this affects stacks. That's it.
Wait a minute. There's no cap? No way.
But... Do you like? I don't really dig this. I mean, I didn't really dig too much the Prot Paladin. Well, they did fine, but it's still a long way to go for Prot Paladin in terms of like the rework. But so
this is
it's very ambiguous because again, you say that Holy Power ability means consumer, but there's a lot of like tooltips where it actually mentions Holy Power spenders or consuming an ability.
So here's the situation. Let's say.
All right, Flame, tell us the situation. Flame, tell the good people the situation.
Worst case scenario, this is a spender because you use fewer spenders than you use generators, and the time that you spend outside of Avenging Wrath, what is it, like a minute and a half, maybe something like that. You're a very fast-paced spec. You press a lot of buttons. You're probably gonna spend, I don't know what the math of it is, but at least 10 to 20 Holy Power spenders. And that's at least 5 to 10% extra damage. Now,
yes.
Avenging Wrath can also turn into Sentinel, which lasts for quite a while. That's a big chunk of damage upgrade. That's way more than what Bear is getting. And
True.
if this is a generator, it's just broken because it doesn't seem to have a cap. I don't know if this.
I think that could not be the case.
It has to not have a cap because 0.5% is not that big. So it has to stack to at least 20 times to be something that you can be excited for. We kind of need to test it. Obviously, it's on the PTR right now, and we will have it tested for a future video. But this could literally be cracked depending on how exactly it ends up because it has the potential to be insane. Imagine you get a 15-20 seconds.
Yeah, I get it.
20% damage.
I get it. It has, but it's so ambiguous in its wording and its tooltips. Like we cannot really draw any conclusion. We're just speculating here on how this could potentially be. But let's just say due to its potential OP-ness. What did you think?
I actually like it. I mean, compared to Bears, like leagues above.
Of course, yeah, we're gonna pass it, but we're not really that convinced
and to be fair, protection has had dog shit tiers for 3 tiers in a row.
No discussion. Hopefully, we're gonna get some better times. Okay, let's check out the Retribution with the Paladin has the shittiest visuals on the armor. This is. Have you seen Mokti, man? Have you seen those wings, man?
But he's not a good example of a good transfer. We love you, buddy.
No, with them, this appearance.
I with him today.
Yeah. What a disgusting. They man and that priest from 10 point whatever. Okay, let's check out the Retribution. So 2-piece for Retribution. Blade of Justice damage increased by 15% and Wake of Ashes damage increased by 10%. Complicated for all red paladins, I know. 4-set. Wake of Ashes increases your damage done by 10% for 8 seconds. Wow, this is so boring. This is it?
Well,
I mean,
the thing is, you're probably gonna want to play this with the new what is it, Radiant Glory. When you press Wake of Ashes, you get 8 seconds of wings, and you stack this on top of those 8 seconds of wings. So your burst windows are just gonna be. This kind of feels like they will force you into Radiant Glory.
It is that type of situation where you would take, but I'm very disappointed because you already have like you simplified the spec enough. So Red Paladin is a beautiful spec to play. Like a beautiful. How can I call Red Paladin? It's like brilliant. But I've mained Red Paladin for the majority of WoW. I played the majority of time I played WoW. It was the first time after the remake that I got really bored of it, because it got simplified and it got so like streamlined to a point where after you like cap out your stats and your gear and whatever in your rotation is basically super like easy to like get to at least purple parcels or whatever. It gets really boring. Like there's no more challenge of that. But you know that's me. I feel like the single most true way you could have addressed that was to a tier set. This tier set is just.
It's very simplistic. Okay, so I will be devil's advocate and also meet you halfway. I do feel like this is particularly boring. You won't feel this. Like nothing changes how you play Red Paladin, with the exception of maybe you really wanting to play Radiant Glory, to get those not have wings as a button, but just have it with Wake of Ashes. And when you do have it with Wake of Ashes, it will just explode, and that just feels way better, considering that if you do get wings through Wake of Ashes, it's not that big of an impact as you would if it just be a separate cooldown. But with this tier set, it's going to be more impactful, so yay. But it doesn't really, you don't change it. It's not, you won't even feel like you're wearing a tier set. You just have more damage. That's how it feels like.
That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to say here. Like, you could make all of this, like all of your argument could be made with a little bit more intricacy. Okay, this just sounds like it's flat damage all across the board. Okay, you make some shit more impactful, and that's it. But nothing changes into it. And I feel Red Paladins really do need some variety in their gameplay options. I personally, I live Red Paladins to that, always did, always will. But after playing Unholy DK and Outlaw Rogue,
wow,
it's those were my mains after my Red Paladin. It was like, man, there's such a difference. So many things. But again, this is very biased, very personal.
Obviously, because like there are millions of players that are playing Red right now.
Fuck it. Okay, we're gonna give it a pass. It's Red Paladin, man. This is one of the coolest classes in the world. We're gonna give it a pass because I like Red Paladins.
We're gonna give it a pass because we're gonna talk about how the tier set looks, and it's not gonna be a pretty.
Oh
discussion.
Yeah, that's
so it's only fair that we give it a pass now because.
But do you know
there's some fires later.
There's people who actually like the tier set appearance, and
there's people who like pineapple on pizza, man. What are you trying to say?
No, not getting into that. No. Let's move on to Priest. All right, Priest. Okay, I was waiting for this one.
Oh my god, I've played it today. It's crazy.
You played Priest today?
Shadow Priest.
Oh, awesome. All right. So let's see. Starting off with Discipline, 2-piece. Attunement healing increased by 5%. Excellent. I always feel attunement healing is just not quite enough. That's my problem. Just need more. So 5%, it's cool. It's boring, I know, but it's needed.
But more.
Yeah, give more. Okay, 4-piece for Discipline. Smite and Penance increase the damage of your next Mind Blast by 25%. Ooh. Or absorb amount of your next Power Word Shield by 15% up to 3 times. Wait a minute, is this up to 3 times also the damage from Mind Blast?
That's a very good question.
Or is this the Power World Shield absorption amount?
Well, let's take it one point at a time. Smite and Penance increasing the damage of your next Mind Blast means that obviously you're going to be atoning it.
These 3 abilities, so Smite, Penance, and Mind Blast are basically part of your rotation, so you're already using this.
But this
what
means
I'm interested,
your Mind Blast is going to give you like a big chunk of healing, right? That's always good for Discipline.
Yes, it is. But this is if also the damage from the Mind Blast is stackable. This
75%. That's quite a bit.
Yeah, but that would mean it would be the first time in history where you would use attunement for spot healing, because you would have like. Sometimes you don't really like when the situation is really bad, or you don't really have like all the attunements ready and nothing really. You can have an attunement on. You can place a fast attunement on somebody, and if you have like a 75% Mind Blast, that would be a good chunk of them. I think that would be really cool.
Do you think a 45% shield would be reasonable? Because it feels like you would always want Mind Blast over Power Word Shield.
I feel Power Word Shield. like the only time you really like you use it, of course, but you mainly use it to put attunement on people. It doesn't really absorb that much. If you want to put it like stacked up to 3 times, it could show some value. But this is like again,
but you're trading the Mind Blast.
The Mind Blast is really cool and really valuable.
What's the cooldown on Mind Blast? Do you have time to generate those 3 stacks before Mind Blast comes off cooldown? Because then maybe that wouldn't be that bad.
No, but it's very ambiguous. I would love if the 3 times stacking would be for Mind Blast as well. For shield is also good because it also kind of translates. Okay, you want to save somebody.
If it's for Mind Blast, I don't think you're ever gonna cast Power Word Shield over Mind Blast because Mind Blast heals as well, but also does damage.
So you're gonna do Power Word Shield every time you're gonna Rapture. That's a given. So you're gonna have instant Power Shields. Everybody. Okay, it's a great way to place attunement on everybody. It's a decent damage reduction stuff. The value could be there. So if you're gonna have a 45% Power Word Shield on somebody, that's
with
also
Rapture, sure.
Yeah,
okay, that would be interesting.
It's gonna be again single spot healing protection.
Then
type
you
stuff.
consume it. So
I like it, man. I like this shit.
All right, no, the tier set is really good. The tier set is really good. I really want to see how it plays out, the dynamic between your choice of spending it on a Power Word Shield or a Mind Blast, because I always feel like they always give us these types of choices in certain game designs, and the choices is always damage. So I kind of wanted to skew to some other stuff because I miss the big bubbly Discipline Priest.
Well, big bubbly is not like it's not gonna be a thing anymore. Big bubbly is translated into big damagey, and Healy the Attunement-y. All right, no more bubbly because that was a long time ago. That would be an actual interesting variant of Discipline to try out and play. But from what I can see,
I mean, when they tried it in Shadowlands, it just broke the game. You only play Discipline everywhere.
That's the problem. They cannot really go back to that play style. So it is what it is. But let's check out the Holy Priest. 2-piece Serendipity is 10% more effective. Now, when they put words like this, I don't really know what that means. 10% more effective. Is it?
I don't know what the spell does. To be fair, you're the holy expert.
4-piece heal, flash heal, and prayer of healing have a 50% chance to cast again at 35% effectiveness. Okay, so this goes into the echo mechanic. It's I can see why they would go for this route because like traditionally you would think Holy Priest is a easy healer to play, and it is because it's very reactive. Okay, it's not proactive as Discipline, but
I feel like it's easy because you can understand it. You see missing health
problem
bar,
happen, press button.
But I tried it. It's not as easy.
No, it's not as easy. It is like you really have to know like how to like be efficient on reducing the cooldowns of your all of your big heals and but this one doesn't really play too much into like the cooldown reduction stuff. And if this is the thing again with the effectiveness and all the wording. So heal and flash heal reduce the cooldowns of your big hands, right? Yeah. So prayer of healing is you cast that basically on cooldown. If this has a 15% chance to be cast at 35% effectiveness, is that chance going to also reduce the cooldown? Because if that's going to work like that,
that's a good point.
If that's going to reduce the cooldowns also by that 35% effectiveness, that's going to be cool. I'm going to dig that. But if those are just going to be like 35% amounts of heals from the heals and flash heals, which, okay, you cast heal, but you really cast a lot of flash heal. It has to be,
because they've worded it in a way. I mean, we know that the devs are fans of the Dungeons & Dragons, and proper word choices matter. So it says, it could be, they could have worded says it affects the target again, but they chose to say it casts again. So casting implies the mechanic of casting, which reduces the cooldown of the holy words.
All right, let me check because I cannot remember.
I don't know what serendipity is though. I've tried to wow hit it and it doesn't come up with anything.
Isn't yeah. I think. Hold on.
We're doing research, guys.
No, so the serendipity casting holy words triggers serendipity on other holy words. Wasn't that like a goddamn talent? I cannot remember for the life of me.
I'm just getting like a lot of other searches here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to look for it so to make sure because I'm not really convinced. Like serendipity, isn't this the cooldown reduction thing? This is like the wording with the 10% effectiveness is just
Serendipity has a 5% chance to reset the remaining cooldown on a holy word. The remaining cooldown.
Yeah. So
it doesn't shave off cooldown. It just completely resets it. So being at 2% effective means that it just ups from the 5% to 7%. Is that what that means? Because then,
I mean,
it's not bad, but
no.
statistics wise, because that would be what, like a 30% power gain for serendipity.
Hold on. So let me check this. Where the hell is it? Okay, serendipity. So when you cast Flash Heal or Heal the remaining... Yeah, so this is the cooldown reduction. Yeah, okay, this is the cooldown reduction. When you cast Flash Heal or Heal, the remaining cooldown on Holy War Serenity is reduced by 6%. When you cast Prayer of Healing, so this is the
6%?
serendipity. 6 seconds.
Okay.
So
then what is that 2%?
The effectiveness... This is why I've asked. What is 10% more effective? Is that like from 6 seconds...
6.6?
Yeah, what is it? It's like 0.6...
I guess. I mean... That means, well, listen, you can just read it as this. Over the course of a long fight, you have 10% more cooldown reduction.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
So you might get like, what, 1 or 2 extra holy words in over the course of a couple of minutes fights or something like that.
Okay. But overall, for holy, I think this is good. If you're going to have even more cooldown reduction due to the 2 set, and if the little echoes from the 4 set actually also contribute to the cooldown reduction, I think that's a win. Because at the end of the day, you kind of play Holy Priest that way. You like use your spells efficiently to get access really fast to the big ones, you know. So I would give it a pass. For me, it's a pass.
We've seen worse for sure.
Oh yeah. Okay, let's check out Shadow Priest because you played. Did you play with the tier piece?
Both, yes.
Okay. So let's check the 2-piece. The duration of bloopers. The duration of Devouring Plague is increased by 1 second. Huge. Okay, 4-piece. I mean, no, it's okay. You have more Devouring Plague.
It's an extra tick. It's probably big.
You really that big?
Because it stacks. You keep stacking it.
Oh right.
And there are.
I forgot about. Yeah. Okay.
There's. I think Voidweaver has something with Devouring Plague. Does something when it does its damage or whatever. But
okay, let's check out the 4-piece and then we can like make a nice wrap here. So, Devouring Plague increases your damage done by 2% for 10 seconds. Multiple applications may overlap. What the fuck does that mean?
This means Ironfur for Guardian Druid.
No
or Fishermite,
way,
or the new Fishermite. Yeah. Well,
so you can get this to like degenerate levels
well,
if you try hard?
Not on the beta. I wasn't able to. I've played it with the talent that reduces its insanity cost so that you can spam it a little bit more. You don't have that big of an insanity pool to like cast it back to back. But at least you probably will have a decent amount of uptime on the buff. I mean, we've seen this buff in a couple of iterations in the past, most recently with the new Fisherman for Unholy DK. It all comes down to the overall uptime of the buff. So it's Sims. I mean, you cannot really tell without Sims, I don't think.
Okay, well, we're not going.
The concept is cool though.
Yeah, the concept is definitely cool. I totally forgot about Devouring Plague. So that 1 second 2-piece is actually really good. Yes, because that goes over and over. So I give this a pass.
Yeah,
I give this a pass for sure. I mean, Shadow Priest looking pretty juicy.
It's in between Mage and Demon Hunter.
All right. Oh boy, are we going to talk about the rogues? Okay, well, Mr. Assassination main. Let's check out first Assassination with the 2-piece, and we'll carry on from there. When your bleeds deal damage, they have a chance to grant you Vile Tincture for 8 seconds, increasing your poison damage by 1% per stack up to 10 stacks. Vile Tincture, is this something new?
This is just the effect of the tier set. I don't think this is anything that...
Okay. No, so, but this basically increases the poison damage to 10%. Okay, so it's interesting because it starts off with the bleeds, so you're gonna have your Garrotes, you're
playing both. You're probably gonna play Dragon Temper Blades. You're probably gonna play in Venoms.
But I like the bouncing off. So the bleeds.
The concept is good. Assassination has always had problems with tuning, and we've seen this with the 10.2 rework of Assassination, which was killer. I've mained it. It's incredible, but it was doing a lot of damage on beta. It was nerfed and it was never buffed again, and it just ended up at the bottom of the meters because of the tuning. So tuning actually matters for Assassination because it always always had really cool buffs. So it comes down to how it ends up when the game goes live. We'll have to keep an eye open on it.
Okay, 4-piece for Assassination, while you have 5 or more stacks of Vile Tincture, Garrote, Rupture, and Crimson Tempest deal 10% additional damage. Okay, so it ties in. I like tier sets that make a correlation with each other.
Remember our talk about Feral and Tiger's Fury Rip?
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I don't know yet, but looking at it
sounds very it looks very similar.
Yeah,
it is very similar.
How does this impact your bleeds? Will you want to snapshot your bleeds? Because that's something that you have to think about when you play specs like Assassination. Because of that is why they've nerfed Kingsbane, which was degenerate and it was sticking for like millions of damage on 10.2. So it's because snapshot is not a big problem, but it becomes a problem when you need weak auras to kind of know when to do it, and that's not something that's fun. But the concept is killer. Like it's the same thing with Mage. Some people really love Rogue.
Dude, yeah, this is as a concept, I'll give it a pass because I like the bouncing off, the bleed damage and the poison damage, and also like a really nice circle, like with the 4 set having all of the other things deal damage, like so. It's really cool that
it's a synergistic loop.
Yeah, they make a really cool dance between the poison damage and the bleed damage. Obviously, once again, tuning is a different discussion here. We're just kind of like looking at how they're thinking about all of the philosophy and the design behind it. And I really like this for Assassination, to be honest. I'll give it a pass. Give it a pass.
Yeah, it's really good. No, I like it too.
All right, so let's check out Outlaw 2-piece. Your Sinister Strike, Pistol Shot, and Ambush have a 20% chance to Ethereal Rampage. To deal Ethereal Rampage, to generate Ethereal... What the fuck is Ethereal Rampage? Dealing 15% increased damage as Shadow. Oh, Ethereals! Oh, I get it. So those are with the Void and the Shadows.
Yeah,
and all
those
of
are
that.
the dudes, but what is...
This would be the first time Outlaw would deal Shadow damage, I'll give you that.
I guess this is how they name the proc of whatever this does. So you have a 20% chance to proc Ethereal Rampage, and that's...
Yeah, and that gives you like 50% increased damage as Shadow.
On those abilities. Okay. It's always good when you can swap from physical to
definitely
magical.
A better tier set for 2-piece. Okay, so 2-piece is Gucci. 4-piece Ethereal Rampage additionally increases the damage of your next between the eyes by 6%, stacking up to 3 times. Okay, so are we still playing? Like between the crack shot and between the eyes,
They've moved a bunch of talents on Outlaw, so I don't know how you're going to be playing the same build. Plus, everybody's playing Keep It Rolling now. You might be able to play both with the new talent build from how it looks like the layout, but we'll probably have to wait until we can actually theory craft it a little bit more. The concept sounds really great.
Yeah, I like it. I like it, and I never
makes
dislike
between the eyes like big hitters, and I always love between the eyes hitting big.
The fact that we're going for a little bit of shadow damage over there, that's always really nice. I like a little bit of flavor adding into it, so we give it a pass. Outlaw gets a pass for sure. Let's get it. All right, subtlety. This was what I was most interested because I really miss playing subtlety. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's check out the 2-piece. Symbols of Death increase the damage of your next secret technique by 20%. I like this. I like secret technique. I like
and it's way better now because it's central in the talent.
Yeah. No, the secret technique is one of the best things I could ever I like this. Already it's a winner in my book. Okay, let's check out the 4-piece. Secret technique increases the damage of your other finishing moves by 16% for 7 seconds. Oh yeah, baby.
Ooh,
yeah.
7
so
seconds.
you already use secret technique everywhere. You use it in dungeons, you use it in raids. I think you used it last. I didn't play last patch, but you use secret technique.
You use it everywhere.
Okay. So
it's Cold Blood.
It's a beautiful ability, and you already used it in all places. The fact that Symbols of Death, it is like you already press that because it's a nice cooldown for damage increase, but it will increase by 20% your secret technique, and then secret technique will increase the damage of everything, like your.
It gives you that 7 seconds, so that's gonna be really interesting because. I don't know if you're gonna have to pull.
You're gonna have like at least 3 eviscerates for that 16%.
The Shadow
damage.
Dance, if it plays anything like how it played in 10.2, the Shadow Dance window is gonna be crazy because you would normally Secret Technique around halfway through Shadow Dance.
Yeah.
And usually after Secret Technique, you get like a full stack of combo points. You immediately finish it. Sometimes you finish her back to back.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So if that playstyle loop remains, that's gonna be cracked, yo.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I love this. This has potential. I really miss playing my subtlety rogue, so
Yeah, it's big pass.
Big pass.
It's the best one for rogue
big
so
pass.
far.
Yeah, big pass. It's very interesting. I love to see some more love for subtlety. To be honest, okay.
Gorma.
Okay, let's move on to the shamans.
Shaman's.
Elemental Shaman, 2-piece. Elemental Blast Earthshock damage increased by 25%. Earthquake damage increased by 25%. Complicated, as always. It's a 2-piece, bland one, whatever. The 4-piece. Spending Maelstrom grants you 5% increased critical strike chance and 10% increased critical damage dealt.
Wait, no duration, no stack, no nothing?
No duration, no nothing. So just spending Maelstrom grants you 5% increased critical strike chance. And was crit?
This is not complete.
This probably, something.
Crit is big for elemental. It's a big part. It's kind of like Fire Mage-ish, where you...
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask. But 10% increased crit chance and 10% crit damage dealt.
5 crit chance, 10 crit damage. 10 crit damage is very big. Because it scales well. I think elementals already do 22% crit damage as opposed to 220% as opposed to 200% for other classes, and you had 10% over that ends up being really good. Again, it's generic, so we don't really know much. It does revolve around consuming astral power. I don't know if that's going to favor Stormbringer a little bit more than Farseer in terms of the hero talents, because Stormbringer also functions around consuming a lot of Maelstrom, but you're going to be consuming Maelstrom anyway. It's just damage. It's just raw damage. I kind of like the fact that it's not focusing on Lava Burst for once. Thank God, I'm so tired of Lava Burst, and I think everybody is. So you can just play a consumer proper Elemental Shaman. It's good. It's simple. It's nice. It kind of needs to be that way, considering that Elemental has a bunch of stuff going under the hood that people still kind of mess around with.
Yeah, well, they kind of simplified it the last patch, so hopefully we're going to get something a little bit more juicy.
The simplified is going away.
Yeah, okay. Let's check out enhancement, though. Okay, 2-piece for enhancement. Storm Strike, Lava Lash, Ice Strike, and Crash Lighting deal 15% increased damage. Okay, pretty good. Again, boring as... 2-piece, as we've seen a lot today. Yeah, big bump to the damage.
This is a little bit weird.
So 4-piece, Feral Spirits lasts 100%. That's a long ass text. What do you mean? Was Feral Spirits like the biggest thing for enhancement? I don't remember.
Well, the interaction with the tier set that they've had, I don't know if they still use it in season 4, but the one that they had in season 3 was really cool. There was a gameplay loop between Feral Spirits and Primordial Wave where they would just function off each other. That was awesome.
Did you say what they would just fuck?
I haven't seen that one.
I never seen Feral Spirits. Oh, carry on.
What's weird is that the 2-piece affects a lot of the spells that you never really care about the same way at one time. You either just go Storm Strike builds and you really prioritize Storm Strike, or you go Lava Lash build and you prioritize Lava Lash, and Ice Strike is just pure AoE. Crash Lighting is obviously just pure AoE, so it just feels like a flat damage increase across the board. It doesn't really mean anything in terms of the build. The Feral Spirits lasting 100% longer is just, I feel like it's a terrible 4-piece. It only feels like it has any worth if you play Elemental Spirits to kind of buff any type of elemental damage that you have for longer uptime, but it feels terribly boring. So it might be good because it's just a lot of numbers put into 2 phrases of text, but
no pass. No pass on this. I forgot to ask, do we pass Elemental tier set?
Yes.
Okay,
no, I think it's
okay. So no pass enhancement. Yes, pass. Yes, Elemental.
Yes. Great success.
Yes. All right, Restoration. Let's check out Restoration. 2-piece. Tidal Waves increase the healing of affected spells by 10%. Tidal Waves, okay.
It's a passive,
another increase, fine. 4-piece. Tidal Waves is 80% more effective and reduces the mana cost of affected spells by 8%.
Whoa.
Cool, huh? I like this. Whenever I see passives having some sort of like interaction with the mana cost of thing, I like it, especially as a healer.
Okay, so we don't know how these numbers will translate into the actual fight, but we all know that mana is a thing for Shaman, and especially if you play a heavy Chain Heal build, you're going to run out of mana really, really quick, and Chain Heal interacts with Tidal Wave. So this is going to be interesting because I think this is the only healer that we've seen so far that has any mana reduction, period. That's
saying something.
Unless it's like negligible and you don't really care about it at all, which that would just mean that the tier set is dog shit because you have to care about it. Otherwise, what's the point of having a tier set? I mean, Hello, rest of Shamans in 10.2 that were playing with Epic Swords. You said it didn't even matter.
Yeah.
So the tuning kind of matters, and if it matters, it will matter a lot. I feel.
Matters. But it does. It has to get a pass.
Yes. No. It's superior.
Okay. Okay. So it definitely gets a pass. Okay. Yeah. What do we have next? Warlock. Okay, so Warlocks have been through so many reworks.
Oh, I haven't even seen the new Affliction one, so it's kind of hard to gauge, but let's see what they say.
Okay, let's check out. So 2-piece for Affliction. Malefic Rapture damage is increased by 5% and its critical strike chance is increased by 10%.
Whoa,
okay,
10% crit? Wow.
Very similar to what Elemental has. Same thing.
Yeah, but
basically.
this is like
but this is Malefic. I know, but the concept is there. So say something. Say what do you want to say?
You get 10% crit in the first patch of an expansion to your biggest spender.
Yeah, you get I keep forgetting that because my feeling is we're in Awakened season.
No. It's you're probably gonna have at most 20% crit by halfway through the tier. So 10% more is like 50% extra crit chance than what you already have. If it stays that way, which I would be surprised because that sounds like a lot of crit chance. Otherwise, it's just boring as fuck.
But that's a 2-piece. Okay, that's a 2-piece. Let's check out the 4-piece. Malefic Rapture has a chance to increase the damage dealt by your Agony, Corruption, and Unstable Affliction by 15% for 8 seconds.
Has a chance? Okay, so we're kind of rolling the dice here again.
Yeah.
It's
no.
It's boring.
No.
It's boring. Well, considering that Affliction is like probably the most reworked spec right now on the War Within Alpha/Beta. I don't think a single spec has received more reworks than Affliction because they've repositioned like a whole bunch of talents like 2 days ago before the beta, well, after the beta was released. So I mean, this is just doesn't do anything. It's just more damage. It's just more dot damage. It's fine.
Yeah, in terms of like what we kind of like looking for here, I don't think it goes with a pass because it's just too bland. I mean, for 2 pieces, we kind of gave it passes because like most of them were boring. But for a 4-piece to be this,
we're mostly ranking on functionality, not actual numbers, because numbers are subject to change. So it's boring now.
Yeah. Okay, now we have Demonology, which I know you enjoyed a lot.
Yes, the new one, yes.
So let's see the 2-piece. Your primary demon deals 5% increased damage, and your Shadow Bolt damage is increased by 50%. That's what Flame says most of the times. Hey, Flame, how you doing?
Translate to the stream.
That's him. All right. Let's check out the 4-piece. Shadow Bolt has a chance to enrage your primary Felguard, increasing the damage of their next Legion strike by 300%.
This is currently broken on all of the dungeons we've done with Demonology has done double the damage of everybody else.
Yeah, it looks when you hear 300%, it tends to be a big number, and it's
like that
broken.
dude that spills coffee all over. It's like, is that too much coffee? It feels like it's too much coffee. 300% is probably. I would see this at 150%, but then again, that's again numbers.
We don't really need to go there because
it's passive. So on one hand, it does. I do want to say this that they've done a good job at spreading the Demonology tree into Felguard stuff, demon stuff, cool interaction stuff, and Felguard stuff is like the bland one, and that's what's getting buffed here. Like it has no interactions with Doom with the new talent, with the rework of the Vile Fiend. Maybe that's good because you probably don't want to be forced into playing any of those, and Felguard is just always there. But it's overall kind of bland and boring and passive, and you don't really notice anything. You might see a big number on your screen, and that's about it.
Yeah, fair enough. But a pass nevertheless. Okay, broken or not, let's give it a pass because we've seen. It
deserves a pass.
Yeah, be more excited, man. It's Demonology, for crying out loud.
I want my Piddler back.
Okay, Destruction. 2-piece for Destruction. Incinerate critical strike chance increased by 20%. Conflagrate critical strike chance increased by 25%. Wow, did they need this much crit for these spells?
That's so much crit that you're probably not going to stat any crit into your gear because you're just getting so much there. You might just hit some diminishing returns, weird things. But that's kind of like I can see this getting to like 50% crit chance by the end of the tier. The Incinerate, that's pretty big.
Okay, let's check out the 4-piece. So when Conflagrate critically strikes, your fire damage is increased by 5% for 6 seconds.
Okay, so you have to know a little bit of
how much fire damage does Destruction do?
Chaos Bolt does a lot of fire damage.
Chaos Bolt is the fire,
and
rain of
always
fire.
crits.
All right.
So
okay.
that's what you have to know. When you see 5% is not too much, but it will definitely be a big influence on Chaos Bolt, and we've seen this on stream today as well. It does a lot of damage so far. It feels like it's almost broken, but then again, it's still numbers, and we're gonna keep it consistent. Numbers are fine. I feel like it's a little, in terms of functionality, I feel like it's a little bit too RNG, which maybe works with Destruction a little bit, but being inconsistent in terms of its overall performance has been a downfall for Destruction, at least when I mained it back in Abyss, where the difference between getting the proper procs and not was just too much. And
do we pass it? This is the main question. Do we pass it?
So how much do we like fat numbers? That's a real question.
We do, especially on Destruction.
Then it's gets a pass because it's getting some fat numbers.
Okay, we get in a pass for the Destruction tier set. I'm not that impressed with it, but then again,
they're all kind of in the same vein with a couple of exceptions.
Yes. Okay. So I think we're going on for the final tier sets.
Still probably least actually. I may have read.
Okay.
This one.
Let's check out Arms Warrior 2-piece. Mortal Strike and Cleave increases the damage of your next Overpower by 10%. Fine, another increase of damage, Overpower this time. Let's see if 4-piece will get some sort of like melding into this. When Overpower has its cooldown reset by Tactician, your Mortal Strike or Cleave has its damage increased by 10% and Critical Strike chance increased by 10%, stacking up 2 times.
This is pretty big.
I like this.
It's way more interesting than what we've seen from a lot of other tier sets. It functions very heavily upon the overall tuning of it. They do want to push Cleave a lot more with arms. We've seen this in the new talents and how they've shifted things around, where now I believe Seismic Reverberation also affects Cleave. And we're losing a bunch of talents with Cleave, but I feel like Merciless Bone Grinder affects Cleave. I think it might do still on live. And Storm of Swords affects Cleave, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be Cleave Fiesta. And having this synergy between Overpower and Mortal Strike and Overpower and Cleave, I think this is one of the better tier sets.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. This is, again, another good positive example where all of the designers from the other specs should look into like how you can design a tier set, both 2-piece and 4-piece. Now we're talking about arms, where all the things connect with each other and work and play off of each other. So nice. I love it. This is a big
you know
pass.
what this does is it doesn't really change how you play, but it definitely makes you feel like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah. That's what it does. And not a lot of tier sets do this. When you get that proc, you're still going to play the same, but you don't like, oh, I'm going to hit hard now. And that's a nice feeling to have.
Yeah, okay. Now, Fury. 2-piece Bloodthirst increases the damage of your next Rampage by 10%. Wow.
They're very similar.
Okay, 4-piece. When Raging Blow resets its own cooldown, the damage of your next Bloodthirst... Shut up! The damage of your next Bloodthirst is increased by 10%, stacking up 2 times.
That's dog shit.
Bloodthirst
is kind of like the Tiger Palm of Fury.
But again, maybe Bloodthirst will be buffed up and it will actually... Well, you do press it. This is not something you don't press. You have to press Bloodthirst.
You press it. Well, it depends, because we've had a playstyle where we just press Raging Blow and you only press Bloodthirst if you didn't have anything else to do. And whenever Bloodthirst becomes a focal point of the tier set, you probably play a lot of the Bloodthirst talents with Cold Seal, Hot Blood, and all of that, Vicious Contempt and all of that jazz. And that usually makes it so that you don't play Raging Blow that much. So this discrepancy between playstyles has always been the Fury's downfall with the new rework, and I don't think the current iteration of Fury spec design makes this any better. To be fair, when you put this against Arms, I think Arms just wins out. I think Fury's just a little bit boring.
Okay, so we're not passing Fury?
I don't want to pass Fury.
Okay. Flame doesn't want to pass you, boys. I'm sorry. But I wanted to. I really did, but okay, but protection might be...
Go home now?
No, we still have protection. So protection might be a different story. I don't know. I haven't read it, but let's check it out. So, 2-piece. When your shits.
Exactly. Oh, you summarized the tier set perfectly. Yes. Clip it.
Hold up. When your Shield Slam cooldown is reset by Strategist, you gain Expert Strategist, increasing the damage of Shield Slam by 5% and reducing all damage taken by 3% for 6 seconds. Well, it's a 2-piece, man. You cannot be that upset about it. It's all right. It's all right. Shield Slam critical strikes. This is the 4-piece, okay, for Protection Warrior. Shield Slam critical strikes increase the damage dealt by Thunderclap and Revenge by 10% for 8 seconds. Sorry. This is such boring, bland. I
It's-
mean, I like the fact that you can now use Thunderclap as Fury, but
Mountain Thane might be a little bit more excited about this.
maybe
but
this is going into the Mountain Thing. Are you that disappointed?
No, it's terrible because 5% damage on like your most of your damage that you're gonna be getting out of your protection ward is always gonna be shield slam and single target by a long shot. And in AoE, Thunderclap is kind of like mid-range. 10% is not that big, and getting a flat damage increase on slightly above average ability on Pro Warrior is not something that you can be excited about because that's just tuning numbers. You can just get a better ring that might do the same thing.
Oh man, I'm afraid to ask. This is not a
No.
Oh, it's not a
Fury,
pass.
it's similar with Pro
But you
Paladin.
love Protection Warrior.
I love the class, man, but it's the same situation with Pro Paladin. It's just gone dog shit bonuses the entire of Dragonflight, and but at least Pro Paladin actually gets a good set. But this, no.
Oh boy. Well, I guess this kind of wraps it up, eh? This kind of wraps it up.
Hey! That was the only version of this outro that you have seen.
Okay, so overall feels about the tier set designs. We don't even have to like read the philosophy. I'm pretty sure they kind of like went, hey, we're gonna go safe route, nothing too complicated because we're introducing the hero talents. I bet they said that.
Yeah, that's probably what they said. I mean, it makes sense because if you really look at it here, talents, there are a lot of implications with some certain playstyles, and you don't want to add more restrictions upon that. You want people to get used to the new playstyles, and then in season 2, you're like, okay, but you really want to play this hero talent with this hero set, right? So I can dig that. So it's kind of fine. It's a little bit disappointed to look at Fire Mage and then look at some of the other specs, and you're just like, well, what the fuck, dude?
Well, this is how do we phrase this? Because why doesn't it feel like all of that team is aligned, man?
Because
Why is that? What
clearly
we get that feeling all the time. Like even like when you look at like spec redesigns and look at hero talents and stuff, and now with the tier sets, it feels like again there's 20 people working on Mage, and then you have like 2, 3 nobody hunters. You know,
I don't know if it's the number of people. I feel like it's the dedication and the passion of people. You can clearly see that Fire Mage, even Windwalker, they're just getting fun things. They're just
Windwalker,
fun. Well, the other ones are just like, how do we make this work so that people don't complain as much? And that's kind of where survival is right now. But listen, we might change our minds once we see the actual rework. But
yeah, okay. Well,
I guess this is always going to be a thing.
Yeah, the discussion with the hunters thing is pretty redundant at this point. We have to wait for those reworks and whatever changes they are planning to do with them. But I feel like it's in some parts it's disappointing because I always feel that tier sets should actually have you think a little bit more on how you play. I don't agree with just like making your gameplay completely 180. Not that. Tier sets shouldn't do that. But at least have you think a little bit. You know, like, oh, you can add this and this and to optimize this. I think that's really cool. I think they missed the mark on the majority of specs with this.
For sure.
But there are winners, so we can potentially hope for some more. And once again, we have to disclaim this. They will change probably all of these tier sets. Either their numbers or... Or you can expect for some of them a whole like different. Remember Dragonflight? They changed like the some tier sets were changed from the get go. Yeah, so you cannot really. This is a fun little experiment we like to have. Okay, let's see where is their mindset, where they're trying to go with this.
How it ends up in the end.
Yeah, but you mark my words. Once the raid testing is going to be out, you're going to see a lot of changes. I can guarantee everything on that. This is how it is, and I'm expecting the raid testing to begin by next week. But I think we did like almost 2 hours of this.
Yeah, it was quite a bit.
Yeah, there was a lot, but you know, this is what we enjoyed doing. Thank you guys for showing up, and we will do another one on next Thursday. I don't know, maybe you noticed, we don't really interact with chat on this particular stream because we really want to be focused on the subject matter, right? So it's not like we don't want to, but when we don't have notifications activated as well, just because, you know, we want to have it smooth out, and also like when we do like videos from this and all of that. But
We see you in chat, though. We see you there.
I don't. He does. Okay, so just don't you think we ignore you on purpose or something like that? No, we just want to get through this and make sure everything is like focused and the discussion is all natural and not derailed by somebody said that, but somebody said this, but somebody said that. But shut the fuck up.
I mean, we already talked about 2 hours about the tier sets, and we wanted to look at the overall aspect and design of it. But
yeah, but we tend to geek out sometimes. But nevertheless, thank you everybody for joining in. Remember, you can catch the both of us every Thursday from 10 a.m. PST and 7 p.m. CET on both Twitch and YouTube. Once again, this whole stream is going to be on the Marcelian Online channel. And if you don't want to see it full, you're going to have like short clips on the second channel. We have youtube.com/@Marcelian&Flame. Say something because I have no more air.
Thank you for coming for today, guys. And we're going to do this next Thursday as well. And for tomorrow, we're going to be live once again with more beta testing. So catch us play more range DPS specs and testing these tier sets that we've trashed today.
Yeah. See you in the beta, boys and gals. Bye-bye. Look at that. Wow, wrap up. Wow, wrap up.